I think that's for the most part. You can really sense that that's very important to have tourists there from the beginning of the movie all the way to where they're actually like, okay, the sharks is biting everybody, no more swimming, so we pretty much can say goodbye. You'll be living on welfare the whole winter, is what Quint said. But
that was I was gonna say that's a line from the movie.
Yep. I don't want too many men, too many sailors on this island.
It was just strange thinking about how something from 45 years ago made 47 years ago, because the movies, they wouldn't just turn out real quick. So 46, 47 years ago, right? And how much it fits into modern day.
Yeah, I mean, sharks has been around longer before the dinosaurs and way after. And I'm a firm believer that everybody is born with the sense of danger. You may never seen a spider in your life, but I guarantee if you saw a spider, you're like, shit, I'm not touching that. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with sharks. You know, sharks, snakes, things that bite, things that can kill you, bears, automatically are like, nah, I'm not going near that. You know what I mean? It's just instinctive. And, you know, it's a scary movie for the fact that, you know, there's nothing more scary. My biggest fear is being chopped in half by some dude's mouth or some animal's mouth. That's my biggest fear. I actually have nightmares about that. But, you know, at the same time, it gives you a good idea to respect that animal for what it is and what it does. You know what I mean? That's probably the biggest thing that, you know, before, like, oh, Jaws killed so many sharks because people are afraid of them. But, of course, in my opinion, I think Jaws brought attention to what sharks were, and now people are trying to save them because they are very essential to the oceans, in my opinion.
I have no idea what you just said. What does that have to do with the movie?
He's saying to respect the sharks in their
No, I was talking about, you know, I mean, that's why it's so relevant today, is because people are interested in things that can actually kill them.
Okay.
I mean, that's why it's still relevant, in my opinion.
I don't remember that. I think it was like they were on the beach already for 4th of July. They were making a big deal, and I'm like, why don't they just not go in the water? I mean, that's plain and simple. They're like, a shark is coming, it's going to kill you, blah, blah, blah. Don't go in the water. There. It's not like the shark's going to come out.
But there's nothing else to do at a beach. By the way, Josh, you're a faster typer than I am. How much sales did the 45th anniversary Blu-ray do this past month?
Oh, I don't know. You want to talk about the movie? I'll look it up.
Well, see, I mean, that's the biggest thing is like we're talking about a movie that's how old? 1975?
45 years old.
And I guarantee you that movie is still selling like hotcakes.
Probably.
It's because it's nostalgic. It's appeasable for new and older fans. You know, I can actually show this to like a group of kids, and they're like, "Oh, if shark looks fake," but at the same time, they're still watching it to the end. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I mean, this is one of those, I guess, timeless classics.
Well, it's on the sales of media, number 7, and on actual movies, number 1 for 3 weeks.
Wow. I mean, that shows you right there how influential this movie can be. And it also talks about, you know, a lot of directors, one of them being Kevin Smith, was actually influenced by the movie Jaws and how
he's gonna make a movie called Moose Jaws.
Moose Jaws?
Yeah.
I'm watching it just because it's Kevin Smith and plus it's Jaws.
It's on Blu-ray right now on Amazon for $17.44. That's it. The Blu-ray, 4K, and digital code 45th anniversary limited edition.
It's called Moose Jaws?
No, Jaws. The movie he's going to be working on as soon as all this situation is cleared up is called Moose Jaws.
Oh, I thought that's the one you said.
No, I'm saying Jaws, the 45th anniversary, is only $18 on Amazon right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
I got mine for 15.
But Moose Jaws, he's described it as Jaws, but with the moose.
That's badass. I mean, Kevin Smith is a goddamn genius, for crying out loud. I have not seen one bad movie from him, to be honest with you.
Well, apparently you haven't seen all his movies.
What's the name of the one with the walrus?
Tusk.
I love that movie.
Our Facebook, our Twitters, or Instagrams, or something like that. Mine and Deborah's came out at the end of the movie. They're actually in the movie. Like if you go buy the movie, in the credits.
I didn't even like that new one he had called Lederhosen, or like his daughters are in it.
Yoga Hosers,
whatever.
His daughter and Johnny Depp's daughter.
Wow. And they're not surprisingly hot. You would think they'd be hot because of who their parents are.
Okay, so back to Jaws.
So going back to Jaws, there was this one part that I know Josh had called you when that man came out of the store and he was just smiling.
Oh, Frank Silva.
Frank Silva, yeah.
Yeah, Silva.
He
The harbor master. You should watch the deleted scenes. So you see him come out with the pipe, but you don't notice in his hand he has a box of cornflakes and a bowl. So in the extended scenes, all these brand new fishermen with dynamite and bazookas and whatnot trying to catch this shark, they're all like having one giant fuck up, and like people are falling down and people are like tripping and all that, and the whole time they're showing this guy eating cornflakes. and he's just like laughing because all these like new fishermen, and that's where like Ben Gardner is like, what do we have here? This is an extended scene too, or deleted scene. He's like, we got salmon fishing, we got trout fishing, we got deer hunting, we got World War III. Get him, Chief! And that's when the Chief's like, where are you going with that dynamite? You know what I mean? There's a lot of cool scenes that we only see the guy coming out of there looking pretty cool, which I never understood until I got to see the deleted scenes. Like, oh, he's like just laughing his ass off watching all these guys make fools of themselves. Which I do recommend watch the deleted scenes from Jaws because they're hilarious. And it shows you where Quint gets his piano wire from, for his leaders, for when he's like, the Chief's like, the wire is showing. That's actually Quint's leaders, so the fish won't break or bite through it. And of course, number 12 piano wire, I think that's really, really thick.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bunch of cool scenes. They also show scenes where Quint's little old man first mate, got the greasy orange hat. He quits Quint's because he doesn't want to go with them, and there's just so many badass scenes on it. It doesn't make any sense when I'm talking about it because I'm talking too fast because I'm excited. But definitely go watch the deleted scene, and of course the Michael scene where that guy gets his leg chopped off by the shark.
Yes.
There's an extended scene where the guy who gets his leg cut off is holding Michael while the shark is dragging him, and Steven Spielberg deleted it because he said it was too violent. If anything, that scene would definitely make that movie a horror movie.
Well, I mean, just the fact you see his leg just jellying, frozen jelloing to the bottom of the lake.
That's one of my favorite parts too. I know that sounds sadistic, but one of my favorite parts is when they see the leg go down, because that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Going back to comparing the 45-year-old, almost 50-year-old movie to modern times, when they go back out to the beach and the mayor's walking around, who is the guy that he tells to go into the water first?
That was one of his assistants. He never had a name. He had a name in the book. So you had the reporter who was also the writer of the movie. Like he officially like wrote up most of the majority of the whole movie. Gottlieb is his name. I can't remember his first name, but he's the reporter with the mustache. He's like, "Come on, guys, I need a picture for the paper." Well, he's the reporter of that little town. Then you got Chief Brody, and then you have the deputy, and then you have those two guys. One's like, "Is that bounty on the shark? Is cash or check?" And then you have the other guy who's like, "Why aren't you in the water?" I guess there's two assistants, or maybe what else do you have, like a city after a mayor? You have like a congressperson or something like that?
It doesn't matter. I was just asking who the shirtless guy that jumps into the water is.
But he's on the boat when like Brody was like, "Hey Charlie, take me out to those kids over there." He's in the car with the mayor, so he can see him in the background. But he's there throughout the movie with the mayor.
We also noticed when him and his wife, and then they got the kids and put them in the yellow rafting thing. And then the shark was coming, and they were trying to run back. There's this other man who knocked the two kids off of the rafter, and then he got on the rafter.
On the inflatable himself?
Yeah, when the two kids with the fake fin.
So my point is, it just goes to show something else like now, that people are sheeple, because nobody's going out to the water and everybody's just chilling out of the beach. and then one person goes in, and everybody's like, "Yeah, let's go now."
Yeah, and everybody was in the water.
Yeah.
And then what happened? They still got bit by the shark.
No, actually, there was no one bit by the shark. Remember, the shark showed up in the pond, but in the beach, in the ocean, nobody was there. Only the kids with the fake fin. It wasn't their attacking to the guy who lost his leg.
I want to know.
Oh yeah, he was on the other side.
That is true. I want to know how, because it was like an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. You know, how did they just get a fake shark fin?
I know, right?
What did they use to build it there?
Well, you remember, this is before. I mean, the Atari wasn't even around yet, or was it? But you know, there's arcades, but kids don't really have their fun was playing outside and doing shit because that's all they had to do.
There was Sega, because remember the arcade game that we saw?
Yes, there was. What was it called? Sega Shark Killer or Shark Hunter? Did you know that, Chuckles? On the boardwalk, somebody's playing a video game of killing sharks, and it's made by Sega.
It's called Killer Shark Game.
Killer Shark?
Yeah. That's one of the things I have always wanted.
Is it a real game?
It's a real game.
What?
There's just another game made by Atari called JAWS. If you didn't notice, too, yellow arcade there that looks kind of weird, kind of almost like a phone. Not like a cell phone, but like an old school phone that you put to your ear. It's yellow. That's literally the first arcade ever made or released for, I guess, consumer.
Uh-huh.
That's the first arcade ever made. And, of course, I saw that on a documentary about it, video games. And, of course, it made an appearance in JAWS. I'm like, I had no idea. But there is 2 shark-related games made, of course, Killer Shark and JAWS by Atari.
Wow. Yeah, I am looking at I'm looking at the picture of the arcade.
And it's funny
and I see the yellow one looks like a Pac-Man that's throwing up a person. Blah.
Yeah. I think I'm not sure if it's Pong. I don't think it's Pong, but it's supposed to be like a Pong-like. But it's not made by Atari, but it was actually like the first consumer arcade to show up, and from what I remember. But anyways, the main reason why this movie is so, I mean, I watched it so many times. One of my favorite things that I just noticed, and I'm part of a JAWS group on Facebook, and I posted it on that group. And the part, my favorite scene where I talk about, what kind of shark is this? A what? You know that.
We saw that word.
That's my favorite scene. But at the time, is like when they're arguing with Matt Hooper, like, how you know there's a man-eater in there? And like, they're all talking shit to Matt Hooper. And you notice the tall, skinny guy of that group is blowing air behind Matt Hooper's head. Like I said, I watched this movie 1,000 times, and just recently I just noticed that guy like obnoxiously blowing behind Hooper's head or ear. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? It's like little things like that you see in the movie that you never noticed before.
I'm gonna go back and look for that.
Go to the scene where after the what, and they're arguing about, find out there's a man eater in there. Look at the skinny guy behind Hooper. He starts blowing in his ear. And I showed that to my brother, because my brother is another person who watches this movie a lot because, like I said, babysitter tape. And I showed it to him. He's like, when did that happen? You know what I mean? It's just weird things throughout the movie. And me and my brother were talking about this. Like, you think Steven Spielberg is like, okay, you guys talk shit here. You start blowing behind his head. Action, It's like, was that part of the whole thing, or is that like ad-lib? But because it's like weird, strange things like that happen throughout the movie. That's just one of them. Another one is
that's just like when the Silva character comes out. He walks out and he looks around, looks at the camera, smiles, and he walks to the side like he got there too soon and waits for them to walk across camera. And he just stops in that spot and waits there.
We're like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, it's just like so many little things you see. And you're like, huh. And it keeps you interested. You rewind it again. You rewind it. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. And I finally took a video of it and posted it on that group. And literally 70 people commented, I never noticed that. You know what I mean? So that movie's great. I mean, JAWS is, I can't praise that movie enough as it is.
Go Go ahead, Deb.
I told Josh when that man came out, I told him, okay, who's